Young people all over the Empire are joining up to fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part. Are you? Join the Planetary Defense Forces and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship. Would you like to know more? Welcome back to the next episode, episode 7 of our Aurora series in version 2.1, now version 2.11, as the game did get updated. Before we get into today's episode, I hope you did enjoy the intro sequence, and I would like to also state, if you are wanting to support the channel, the best way you can do so is hit the join button on the bottom of this video. You should be able to see it on the channel, and also just share the video, comment, and do what you can. The game is quite niche, but if more people do those things, then we can get more people interested and grow this game's community. Alright, so where were we? Well, we were quite busy in a lot of areas. We had managed to abate the raiders. It seems that the raiders have taken what they wanted and left for us for at least a moment, but they will be back. We must be assured of this, that they will be back, and we must be ready for when they arrive. And that is why I have instrumented 3 different things. We are going to massively expand our recruitment rates of ground forces and begin modernizing our ground forces to meet the enemy. We are going to begin building missile-armed ships and revolutionizing the way that we fight with our primary fleet. And third, we are going to continue unabated against this raider threat to expand against them, to build out colonies, to continue our exploration. So where do we start? Well, the first thing that we're going to start with is going to be our ship design. I've decided that the first 2 things that we need to do is going to be designing a guided missile destroyer, which I've already done, and then also designing ourselves a guided missile cruiser. The purpose of which will be to hold significant numbers of missiles to deal with an offensive threat. We know the enemy does not have their own missiles, and so point defense is less important than purely offensive capabilities. Furthermore, we know we are at a speed disadvantage. This is simply why I have decided that we need to respond in kind with missile technology. The difficulties with this, of course, is going to be that we will need to design out the technologies for the missile weapons on our ships, but also we are going to have to deal with the fact that we all need ordnance factories at some pretty significant margins. So to help with that, I'm going to cancel our commercial shipyard. I'm going to let our sector command finish up, but I'm going to begin immediate construction. We're also going to cancel the fire factories. Immediate construction of a total of 100 ordnance factories to be built. And I'm also going to start continue increasing construction into ground force construction facilities. So this is the Yangtze. It will hold 72 box launchers. How I'm going to use missiles in this game is going to be a little bit like how they use them in modern real life. So what I mean by that is that in real life you have a destroyer, and that destroyer will have 96 cells, or launchers in our case, boxes. And each cell will contain within itself a missile. In this regard, we're going to do the same thing. And when we want to fire salvos, we can fire 8 missiles, 8 missiles, 8 missiles, and divide them accordingly per destroyer so that we don't run out. There's no need for an actual magazine when you've got your box launchers being the magazine themselves. So to continue with this, we are going to design ourselves a missile destroyer. I've already laid some groundwork here, not missile destroyer, missile cruiser, guided missile cruiser. I've already laid some groundwork here, but we are going to continue with that groundwork. So the first thing that I want to do with this is we're going to reduce the armor level, because one, we don't need the armor as much. The second thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the number of 10cm railguns. I did not want to get rid of the 15cm railgun. You may wonder why I don't want to get rid of that 15cm railgun. The reason is because that gives us the ability to destroy commercial ships or disabled ships without expending ammunition from our box launchers. And that is a very valuable thing that we should have on pretty much all our vessels. It also allows us to do orbital bombardment as well, of course. Some point defense will be provided. We are going to have obviously 2 missile firing trolls. Now, the reason that I have chosen resolution 15 is because the enemy is at 750 tons-ish, which is about resolution 15. and we want to be able to have the best possible range against them. I fit two firing shots on so that we can fire 2 different amounts. Since we have 112 total launchers. Now, something that I do want to try out with our cruisers in compared to our destroyers is the addition of MIRVs, or larger cruise missiles that we can use. So we're going to make a box launcher. We're going to create a size 40 box launcher, okay? We're going to prototype that design, and we're going to slap that onto what we have over here. We're going to turn our prototypes on. We're going to put in a total of 8 of these. Now, these are going to be quite heavy. We can get rid of some other things that are currently taking up quite a bit of space. Like we can get rid of that reactor. We can also get rid of some of the launchers, because we're going to have some of the missiles, and I'll kind of show you that. So we're going to have a total of 96 launchers on this vessel. So that gives us a total of 8 box launchers accordingly. We have, over here, we have various active sensors. So we have a resolution 100, resolution 10, and a resolution 1. These are all for detecting, of course, enemy vessels that come in. We now need to design these missiles that will actually fit on this specific craft in this specific way. In that regard, what I'm going to do is go over to the Ice Rangers Missile Optimizer, and this is how we're going to design them. So we are going to focus on speed. Oh, looks like it's on a bit of a problem. There we go. It was just having a bit of a hang up there. We are going to maximize speed. We are going to know our target enemy speed is 4,500 kilometers per second. Our warhead strength, we can actually go and check that in our game. So we have a warhead strength of 3. We are going to begin designing the missile accordingly. So optimizer, let's go back into the optimizer. So we have warhead of 3. We have gas core engines. We have a fuel consumption rate of 0.7. We have a max power use of 2.5. And yeah, that's pretty much all we need for that. So we are going to create ourselves, first off, a size 8 missile. We're going to create 2 different versions. The first version is going to have a 10 million kilometer range, a warhead strength of 4, and I'm going to require a minimum of 50% hit chance. This gets us a size 8 missile with 38,125 kilometers per second with an 11 million kilometer range. This means that it has a hit chance against, say, the enemy vessels of about 80%. That's more than worth it, and I think, considering the fact that our agility tech and our other tech isn't too good, this is a worthwhile design. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to input these into the actual game. So we need 1.3334. We need a engine of 6.1. And we need a power capacity increase to 500%. And we need to change the fuel capacity to 5666 accordingly. This gets us a size 8 missile. We're going to call this the Space Interception Missile 4 in regards to its actually, we'll go 8 for its size. So Sim 8. And we're going to call this the Arashi, which in Japanese means storm. And we're going to create that design. Then we're going to research that design. But before we do so, we're going to research that design. But before we do so, we're going to create a smaller ranged one. So we're going to call this the Sim S. So Space Interception Missile SR, and then we'll call this Arashi. And we are going to reduce the fuel capacity in exchange for more engine capacity. So we really need a short range in here. I'm okay with that much. We're going to increase our engine size. So 7.0. Let's go for 6.8. 6.7. 6.6 here works for me. So we're going to go for 5. It's a little bit much, to be honest. But I think we'll have to pad it out either way. So 6.7, 6.6, there we go. So this is a little bit faster, obviously. And has a much shorter range, but can be used with our missiles, which is what I specifically want to have happen here. No, don't change that. So we're going to call this Sim 8 SR, and then we're going to give this Arashi. And we're going to get both of those on the way here. I'm also, as part of this, going to rename these accordingly, these components. So we're going to call this the S8 VLS-8, Vertical Launch System 8 cell. So VLS-8 cell. I'm going to call this the Mark 1 launcher because these are going to be actual launchers. Mark 1 launcher. Okay, we're going to rename this as well to be, I think we'll go for, I like city names. We'll go for the Aberdeen class cruiser. We're going to have to wait, obviously, for some of this technology. I want to have our two-stage missiles, I think a range of 60 million kilometers to match our active sensor capability. So about 60 million kilometers is what we're going to want. So I'm going to go for a missile fire control. We're going to have two missile fire controls. So we're going to have a missile fire control for the longer range and then for the shorter range. So resolution 15. So we're going to go for resolution 100. That's fine. We're going to have a 1.5. Let's go for a 2HS. 2.5. Okay. So we're going to prototype that. And then we're also going to go for now a resolution number 15. And we're going to go for the smaller amount. So 2.25. Let's go for 2. Okay, and then this will allow us to match accordingly as needed. So let us prototype that design. Prototype, and we're going to add both of those on accordingly. Missile fire control 27, and then this, and then that will allow us to fire at multiple different kinds of ranges as needed. So actually, what we're going to do is we're going to strip out those older fire controls. And we're just going to focus on the longer range fire control like that. There we go. So we'll use those fire controls if needed. What we can do is actually we can add this in so that we can have all missiles fire. Because I want to have 2 salvos being able to fire and then also have the longer range missiles. I kind of want to have four of these missiles, 4 short range versions of these missiles that we'll have. In these launches, that will give us 32 missiles, so that gives us a total of 128 or whatever missiles that we're having on this actual vessel. But obviously, we're going to have to wait along for that. In terms of ground forces, we did finish up, if I remember correctly. Now, we haven't finished up that. We were in the process of researching the Luthian MBT. As people suggested, we need heavy armor. We need a lot of heavy armor. And so that medium autocannon is going to be a part of it. The next thing that I want to begin looking into is going to be, first off, improving our armor technology. And to do that, we're going to need more research labs. And the next thing is going to be improving, not only the armor technology, but improving our, if we go to missile and kinetics, we need to also research these. So we'll research all of these first. So we're going to go for Sim 4, Sim 8, and then Sim 8SR. We'll get those under research. But what we need is those MBTs. We also were going to be needing, I need a HQ MBT for that. So medium vehicle armor. We're going to go for 5,000 ton size battalions. So we're going to call this Luthian MBTC. And then we'll do 0021. And then we'll add that accordingly. All right, very good. And then we'll get that into immediate research with our ground combat, guys. So get me a Luthian MBTC. And then we're also going to begin immediate research into heavy powered infantry armor so that we can compete with our own infantry. Because obviously our infantry is not being able to defend itself well enough with the situation we're finding ourselves in. In terms of our colony, someone did say that obviously Talos and Victor's colony was getting some of the rest. That's because we don't have, I believe we don't have ground forces over here. That's something that I want to be doing. We are beginning immediate ship production campaigns to get as many Zu-Akaku troop transports done as humanly possible. But to transport our hopeful vast army. We've got 2 more Hoshus on the way. What I might do is convert all of these once we have the launchers and whatever else we need. Convert them as needed. So in that regard, I need to begin researching the missile fire controls, and I also need to begin researching the launchers accordingly. And just make sure the destroyer, so guided missile destroyer, Yangtze, we are going to take those 2 fire controls off, and we're going to input the 2 new fire controls on. So prototypes, missile fire control, 1 fire control, there we go. And we are then going to obviously get that under research. We've got this under research, and I'm going to also redesignate you as a new hull as a guided missile cruiser. Now, you may be asking me, why haven't I done any fighters, right? Why haven't I built any specific fighters for use with missiles? The reason for that is because of our low tech, we're having to use quite large missiles, and we don't have the fleet capacity on our carriers to be able to transport those around easily. Not only that, but we would need to add ordnance on. So it's definitely a next generation idea, but it's not something that we can afford right now for our fighters. There is the guided missile destroyer, and then we're going to get everything into research immediately, because otherwise, obviously, we won't be able to do anything. So get that underway. And then I'm also going to get, once you are done, we're going to remove a couple labs from you, and we're going to begin immediate research into the missile fire controls that we will need. So this missile fire control and then this missile fire control, we'll get both of those underway accordingly. Our current armed forces, where's our troop transport? You are heading back to Earth. Once you're back to Earth, we can then begin shipping forces out. Let us begin incrementing along, shall we? So, let's go. 1 day increments at a time. The Jenna strike group just arrived. Detected in Zitomir. Enemy forces detected Zitomir. The second carrier group and third carrier group are currently in orbit. The enemy is at the edge of our thermal signature range. We are going to dispatch Arrakis fighter defenses. Now, let's not dispatch Arrakis fighter defenses because we don't want to use those up. In fact, what I am going to do is I'm going to use one of these squadrons and transfer fighters into the Arrakis squadron here, because that will obviously ensure that Arrakis has boosted up numbers. So we have the Woodpeckers with 9 F1s available for themselves. We are going to detach the Woodpecker squadron, and we're going to have them head over towards the contact, begin following, and we'll have them begin the interception process. Assuming there's no other enemy forces in the AO, we should be able to hopefully reach them by that point. They have disappeared, so we're going to head towards the wrecks, because I have a feeling that's where they're heading towards. Move to location, please. Enemy has been detected over here. Let's move down to waypoint 1. We are going to seek out and find this enemy. Fleets, we're going to go for waypoints. Waypoint 1. So far, no detection. Named waypoint 2. Let's go to waypoint 2. Enemy detected. That is what we need right there. Contact follow. Okay, they have moved off. I did not see where they went to, but they are turning their engines on and off. They're being quite annoying. So far, no spotting. Head to waypoint 4. We're going to continue searching, and I'm getting quite annoyed at this, so I'm going to send over the carrier to go and have a look. Waypoint number 4. Carrier on the way. Detection. Alright, let's deal with that then. Woodpecker Squadron, you got your fuel, you're fine. Head over, begin following contact, 1.2 hours. Enemy was detected once again. Waypoint over here, waypoint number 5. Begin heading towards waypoint number 5, please. Second carrier group also do the same. Move to location waypoint number 5. Keep them on sensors. Another detection. Again, it's just heading in a very erratic pattern. Head over Woodpeckers to that waypoint again. Okay, we got right on top of them there. Okay, contact, follow. We just lost the guy immediately, right off the bat right there. Auto assign fire controls accordingly. Set up to weapons, open fire fleet. Fire as soon as you can, please. There we go. Energy weapons firing. 9 penetrating hits. We lost another F1. We are continuing to open up fire, though, and we have disabled the enemy vessel. Enemy vessel down. Unfortunately, lost 2 fighters for that engagement right there. All right, head back to the carrier group and land on the carrier group as needed. You're going to head back to Arrakis. And we're going to have to obviously halt those guys. So let's head over to Woodpeckers. Ship combat, ceasefire fleet. But yeah, we're going to need a lot more ground forces if we're going to retake Nerox. That is for damn sure. Okay, second carrier group. What we're going to have you do is we're going to have you head to Sol and then refuel, resupply. And you're going to base back out of Sol there as needed. So yeah, Gemini travelers dealt with. Updated hostile ship contact in Alpha. We have another hostile ship contact. Kareem fighter defenses dispatch. Detach. Contact. Follow contacts immediately. Why can you not? Oh god, you've got some problems right there, don't you? Do we not have any actual maintenance supplies on Kareem? We have plenty of maintenance supplies. Oh, that's a problem and a half, ain't it? Ain't it so? Ain't it so indeed? Alright, we'll have to detach these then. So 253254258 detach. And they will have to sit out of the combat. We're gonna have them rejoin with that squadron. Alright, our squadron is on the way. So I'm going to make sure that our sensors are actives are on. Okay, here we go. Closing in. Should be another easy splash for us here. We'll probably lose another 2 fighters. Detection accordingly. Weapons are free to go. General and Traveler, assign fleet. Open fire fleet. Weapons are being prepared. We're getting right on top of our enemy. 1 hit. It fired its weapons off. F2 4248 destroyed. 1 penetrating hit on the enemy. 8 penetrating hits. And enemy ship down. 2 F2s destroyed. Alright, head back to Queen Fighter Defenses. Now, you may think, losing these F2s is a bad thing, but it's not really when you consider, right? You consider the fact that each of their ships is 7,500 tons, and we're trading, 2 400-ton vessels for them. It's in terms of actual cost, it is very minimal for us, which is obviously a good thing. So 8 days, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day increments. Let's just do our 1 day increments now. Be very careful, however. Carrier group, Actum. Wait, do we have a carrier group in Actum? No, that's not. That's the carrier group in Zitomir. The Normandy, the 3rd carrier group. Let's move that 3rd carrier group off, obviously. 3rd carrier group, we're going to have you move back to Sol, refuel, resupply. Kent, you're orbiting here. You're orbiting JP2 Nerox. I'm going to have you go through to Nerox. Going to have you go to Zitomir, and you're going to sit above Arrakis and provide assistance. Alright, well, industry is starting to go once more. I saw you just finished up in Shipyard Fleet 1, which we can then begin dispatching. So I'm going to have the Soryu detach, and we're going to have you create the, what would this be? The 21st? No, this would be a fighter wing, so this would be the 24th fighter wing. 24th fighter wing, and we're going to have to obviously grab ourselves some F2s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And we're going to then grab them over here and put them onto the Quebec. The Quebec is now free to go. As part of its current mission operations, what we are going to do is have it ride along with freighters if possible. We don't really have any freighters currently available here, but we should do. Where the hell are the freighters at? Freighters 1, you are in Alpha, so we're going to dispatch the Quebec to head into Alpha. I'm going to have them, freighters, to... You're going to follow them as needed, consistently, and follow. Alright, continue incrementing along here. We have rising unrest on Callisto, as far as I can see. Invictus Colony due to overcrowding. Yeah, we're going to have to get stuff moved over there. What's our troop transport status looking like? 32 days out. Third carrier group is escorting there. Quebec is also now in the area. We're going to have them follow freighters back and forth. The Kent has completed orders, is now orbiting Arrakis. We're going to keep the Kent where it is. We're going to keep it above Arrakis. We're going to keep the people there safe. Though I don't want to be right above Arrakis, otherwise there is some issues there. So follow minimum distance 150,000 kilometers, because otherwise then the fighter defenses don't get preserved, so to speak. If we are right on top, so we do have to obviously have some distance. Second carrier group is now orbiting Earth. Okay, Arrakis is nearly as 10 million people. We'll get our maintenance facilities up. We nearly have enough capacity. I'm going to move over another Condor then, accordingly. So Condor 006. So we need to go to Shipyard Fleet. We should have a Condor available here. Yes, we do. Detach Condor and then begin. We're going to provide you with a bunch of F2s. So I need to just make an actual strike group for you. And then a bunch of F2s. 17. I'm going to need 18. And then we're going to just assign you up to the strike group accordingly. Okay, so that is... Where the hell's the Condor at again? There we go. Condor 009. We're going to get tugs to begin moving that Condor to where we need it going. So Condor, FB06 tractor. Take that over to Zizomir. Take that over to Arrakis fire defenses. Release tracted ships. Head back to Sol and refuel. We are also going to take restrictions off of Talos, so that we can begin movements once more through that area. Okay, what is going on here? Shore leave, transportable fleet done. Okay, that's good. So we're going to now grab the vessels that were, staying there, and we'll send them into the reserves for now, or shipyard fleet. And then I'm going to have the troop transport fleet begin moving over. We don't really have much available, do we, right now? Yeah, unfortunately not. I would like to get stuff moved around. We have an infantry reserve available there, but we need to be able to actually have what we need. We have surface assault weapons on the way, but that's going to obviously backlog us a little bit. I will dispatch a regiment. Obviously, we'll have to send more than that later on. We will dispatch this regiment to go over to Zitomir, go over to Nerox, go over to Talos, and then unload onto Invictus Colony, then head back to Sol. Ignore danger rating, please. There we go, head back to Sol, and then refuel, resupply. As part of that, we're going to have the Northumberland with its fighters, which it needs to get a replacement for. But no, it's fine. Replacement, you are going to then... Your primary job, you're going to be following the troop transport at all times. And you obviously go faster, but you will be following those troop transports as needed. Third carrier group done. Okay, and we've got more colonists now coming into Arrakis, which is a fantastic news. We have 3 million available workers. We'll get more maintenance facilities over there. We'll run out of fuel, unfortunately. Where are my tankers located? So if we have a look, Earth to Arrakis. So you are transferring fuel to Colony as needed. Okay, that's good. You have your escorts. You have your Soryu class escort providing its service, which is always lovely to see. And let's continue incrementing along here. Research into Luthian MBT done, which is very nice. And colony ships arriving. And there we go. Now, something that I do want to look into, actually, that I did talk, that I'm thinking, instead of going for the bombers, what we will do instead is we can design a fighter. Take the bridge off, take that off, take this off. Design a fighter that can be used as a mine almost. Not really a mine, but, similar. What we'll do is we will add cells onto it. So we add multiple size 8 missile cells, 6 of them maybe. We will then go over to engine, and we will add a small engine in and some other small things. We will give you this fire control. Let's give you 4 launchers. We'll give you a deployment time of 5 years. And then we will design ourselves a engine, a very small engine, maybe 50 tons total size, that can provide you with a significant amount of fuel, giving you, a decent speed, but nothing, nothing too great. So there we go, and then we will provide fuel storage onto that. So that gives us 8.2 billion kilometers. We will need to add, obviously, maintenance facilities more so than anything. So we will add maintenance storage. We will add a small maintenance storage bay that gives us 5 years. That's plenty. And then we will add in all of the fuel, which will allow them to orbit wherever they need to orbit or do whatever they need to do. And what we will do is we will also call this, we're going to need an active sensor on this. We'll add a 5-ton active sensor. And then just add in fuel to finish up the difference. There we go. We're going to call this an orbital defense platform, and then we can start mass producing these once we get ordnance out. And we can just put these on jump points. We can put these on above colonies, and we can use these for defensive purposes. Obviously, we're going to need a lot. I would say probably we need minimum of 10 per colony. And the colony will also probably need ordnance to be able to supply those defense platforms. We're going to also need an ordnance ship that'll be able to move that ordnance around, which is going to be important. So we're going to research those designs, and I'm going to order that to be researched accordingly. So do we have magazines available? We should do. Magazine available. Yes, we do. So what I'm going to do is we need a commercial magazine, primarily speaking. If I go over to my supply ships, and I go over to here, so commercial. Doesn't look like we have a commercial magazine yet. So what I'm going to do after you are done here is you are going to begin researching a commercial magazine, so that we can start transporting that stuff around as needed. The S6 is done. You are moving fuel around. That's good. Do we have that fuel actually? Has it been moved to Arrakis? Not yet. We're still waiting on that. Earth is going to need to restart its maintenance supply production, by the way. And it has the plenty of a stockpile to do so. But here comes the fuel transport fleet. It's got its escort. Very, very good. And yeah, it seems we've calmed down somewhat. We've calmed down. We've got our plans on the way. We've got STOs. We've got more ground forces on the way. We've got a bunch of other stuff ready to go. It's just obviously going to take a while to get to that point. So let's just continue incrementing along here. Okay, 3 Congos built, or 4 Congos built. F2326 was built. And yeah, again, we're also waiting on our ion drives, because then we can start building up some better fighters and start replacing the older fighters out. So yeah, 3 troop transports on the way there. We'll have that Arashi done shortly. Okay, tug completed orders, which is good news. So I'm going to grab the Condor that they just finished tugging, which I would imagine. No, they would have already done that. That's good. Okay, Arrakis fighter defenses right there. That's really nice to see. So we have now a total of 35 F2s in orbit of Arrakis, and they can obviously provide all the defensive operations they need there. with plenty of main facilities. We also now have fuel moving over to Arrakis. I want to get Talos built up. I want to get those outer edges built up so that we can start to supply resources there as needed. So yeah, we just continue incrementing along here, really. What is the Kent doing? Kent. Oh, it's just where it is appearing in the map. Troop transport fleet is on the way there. Where the hell are those escorts that I had for that troop transport fleet? Northumberland, you're in Sol. You need to be followed. Oh, God's sakes. Halt. You're gonna halt. You're gonna head back to Arrakis. System locations. Head to Arrakis. Northumberland, go to Arrakis and bloody pick them up. You are going to join as a subfleet, okay? Well, yeah, join as a subfleet. Okay. And we'll have to obviously delay that for now. Research into the Arashi done, which is good news. So we're going to add that to the new Yangtze design. So we're going to add in 72 Sim Arashis. And then for the guided missile cruiser, we're going to add in 92 of them. There we go. Was it 92 or 96? It's 96, my bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Arashis there. And then we'll just have to wait. Okay, True Transport Fleet is done. Okay, we've discovered the jump point in Minerva, the jellyfish. Minerva, obviously, if you guys don't remember, is this with Terra Nova around it. We are going to go through that jump point. Let's have a look. We haven't had much hope in recent times. We need the hope. Okay, Arrakis now has 10 million people. I'm going to keep that as stable for now so that we start growing some of the other colonies. I'm going to... Do I want to military restrict this colony? Yeah, I kind of do. It doesn't really serve many other purpose besides just providing a defensive armament and a refueling outpost in Kareem. Invictus colony I want grown. Invictus colony above it has, I believe it's the Labrador. Yes, it is. How is your ship list doing? You're doing fine. So we can keep you where you need to be for now. Okay, let's have a look at what's in that jump point. We have discovered the system Proxima Centauri. Proxima Centauri has... Let's have a look at it. It's a trinary star system. The two stars don't have anything, and then we just have a normal terrestrial world. Nothing too exciting, unfortunately. Fuel Transport 1 did just complete up its orders, so what we're going to do is we're going to have it ordered up so that it will... I'm going to put some standing orders in that every... So your deployment time is a bit much right now, but basically what will happen is when your deployment exceeded, you're going to refuel, resupply overall. But what we're going to do is we're going to refuel tankers. So we're going to go to Talos. I'm going to put an order delay on this. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And I'm going to put this order delay over to Zitomir. We're going to do... No. Transfer fuel. Transfer fuel to colony, okay? Are we good? Did you finish up? Let me have a look. Did you finish up? No, you haven't because you were at the old delay. For God's sakes. No, transfer fuel to the colony, please. Okay. Okay, you're done. Now, you're going to transfer fuel to the colony. Oh, not transfer fuel. Refuel from colony every year. Okay? Every year. Then you're going to transfer that fuel over to Zitomir, over to this colony, and then head back to Sol and then refuel. And then you're going to cycle those orders accordingly. Okay. That should be good. As far as I know. Yeah, that should all be good. Okay. How is our rate of production at the moment for fighters going? 2000 BP. Ordnance. We have a lot of ordnance available. I'm going to order up immediate 500 Arashi class missiles to be constructed. That's going to take us a few years to build. Which is why I'm going to continue to increase our capacity in terms of our ordnance factories. Actually, no, we need to get research labs, really. we don't have the capability right now. We'll just keep constructing more ordnance factories. More ordnance factories is better. That's what we need. Okay, research into Luthean MBTC done. So we're going to create a new formation. We're going to call this Heavy Mechanized Company. Okay, and we are going to put this under mech, and we are going to add, so Luthean MBT, we're going to add a total of 40, 45, 43, Luthean MBTC. So that's what we got. So 43 tanks is what we have in this, and it's cost a 400. Okay, we're going to order up then to be built. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna have entire regiments of mechanized battalions. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll get that all under construction and all underway. We nearly have some of the other technologies done to begin building those vessels. 5 STO build formations are done on Earth, which is fantastic news. We're going to then train up more. We need to keep that training up. So what we're going to do with these is we're going to begin moving these into each other. So, amount pop-up, we're going to just move all of these into one formation as needed. 5, 5, 5, and then 5. So that is a little bit more than what I wanted actually. So we'll just do 5 into that, and then we have 9,000. We have 20 guns total. I don't really have a commander for this yet. So 20 guns. We'll rename this to the first planetary defense cannon battalion. STO. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab myself some. I need a regimental HQ. Okay, one. We're going to use these carcasses here, like that. And then I'm going to rename these into regimental. So we're going to rename this into Planetary Defense Regiment. PDF, Planetary Defense Regiment. We'll rename this to the first Planetary Defense Regiment. PDF. And we're going to put these cannons in here. So into that. There we go. Let's just show elements, turn them off. So first planetary defense, show elements. That's fine. Okay, so then we're going to add in proper regiments as needed. No, I think we'll move you up, and then we will move colonels. So, no. Amount pop-up, please. Colonel. One colonel. One colonel. Then 629 infantrymen. 629 infantrymen. And then, yeah, 629, 629. Then 75 lavs. There we go. And then we're also going to add in logistics vehicles into the top end regiment here. We're going to add in 150. Military defense regiment, 25,000 tons. You have logistics vehicle 9,300. I'm going to reduce that then to 75 accordingly. There we go. And then we're going to rename these into first planetary defense battalion or infantry PDF battalion. So PDF, and then we're going to do the exact same thing over here with this guy. Second infantry PDF battalion. Oh. Well, I don't even need a PDF in there, to be honest, because we already have the thing. PDF, and then rename this to... Yep. Okay, good. So that is 10,000 tons, so we're going to then move that over into the regiment. Okay, that's 25,000 tons. So that has the 2 infantry battalions that can obviously dig themselves down, and then also the service door weapons. We're going to put the service door weapons on reserve, or rear echelon more importantly. Let's do show elements, amount pop-up, and then also put you onto reserve or rear echelon as well. And then we're going to move that over to Arrakis as the next thing. No, Arrakis has a lot of defenses, to be honest. It's going to be far flung colonies that are going to need that help. That's a significant amount of help. All right. Anyway, I think that's where I'm going to leave the episode off. We didn't get much done this episode, but we kind of talked through our recruitment drive, what we're going to be doing, how we're going to be moving forward. And yeah, we did destroy a couple of enemy ships that did appear. But I'll see you guys next time. Please like, comment, subscribe. Really helps me out. And consider becoming a member. Goodbye.